Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. This video, I'm going to talk about alert policies in Exchange Online, right? So what are the alert policies and what those policies can do and how those policies can help us in knowing different situations across the on-premises or across the hybrid environment as well as across the online environments, right? And those are the policies where we would see different triggers which would help us to make sure what is the situation where we wanted to go ahead and streamline those situations, streamline as in probably there is a mail flow or the slow mail flow which is not working as expected, then what are the reasons, what are the potential or possible causes it is stopping or slowing it down so that we can go ahead and deep dive and resolve those conflicts or issues if there are any, right? So I'm going to show you how we can create that alert policy as well as some of the triggers that I'm going to talk a bit about it, right? And you might have seen and experienced that as well when it comes to on-premises or hybrid environment. There are situations like if there's an application as in it could be a SMTP application or any application where there's a mail flow, continuously mail flow, as in the application is sending an emails to internal as well as external partners, customers, or vendors. And those emails are stuck in Exchange environment because it is being sent in bulk and Exchange is considering those as a bulk or spam emails, and that's why it is simply blocking it. And either we can go ahead and change that policy or we should have adjustment to make over there. And so policy is going to be also notifying us, right? It is not only blocking the mail flow, but it is going to notify us what is the situation, right? And basis on that, this policy is going to be really helpful, whether we wanted to get notified when someone is forwarding emails to another domain, which is a brand new domain for the whole tenant and whole organization, right? And something like that, right? So all those kind of activities would also be showing up there, right? So I'm going to show you by creating the policy and then would also discuss some of the triggers, right? So let me share my screen and we'll go through it and you would also see how we can go ahead and do that. All right. So you can see that I'm on Exchange admin portal over here and it's the part of mail flow over here and alert policies. So if you have to go from the home page or home screen, then home screen, and once you are here, you need to click on mail flow and then alert policies, right? So once we are here, you can see a bit of description about this policy or this capability or feature. And you can see I have created few of the policies before. So those are already created one. And there are few of the policies which are pre-default. So these are the pre-default policies created, right? Those are created by Microsoft, right? So those would be available there as well. And to create a brand new one for us, we can go ahead and create brand new from here, right? So I will create a mail flow policy or alert policy, not mail flow. I'll give it a name, something like slow mail flow, right? So this way, okay, there's spelling error. Okay, so I've given it a name as slow mail flow, and we can give it a description as well. Click next. So next, under the settings, over here we have a bunch of options, including severity, then category and triggers, right? So severity, we can set up high, medium, or low, or whatever it is, wherever we want to target it, right? So let's say we wanted to catch up all those mail flows, which is pretty slow and it is not delivering emails at all, right? So we should definitely keep it on high because we wanted to get it notified as soon as possible. And any of our team can simply go ahead and work on it, right? So that is why we'll keep it on a high level. And then anything that is broken or anything that is stopped or very slow, then we should be looking into it as soon as possible and resolve that issue. Then category is going to be defined or be built automatically, or that's going to be selected automatically, so we don't have to select it at all. And the triggers, right? Trigger an alert when following insights is generated. So basically, these are the insights triggers that you can see over here, which includes mail loop, slow transport rule, new users forwarding, new domains being forwarded, and cert expiry, right? So these are the different triggers, and which is going to give us the insights of each of those, right? When any uh, trigger or anything is matching with this policy across the tenant, across the subscription, or across the on-premises and cloud hybrid environment, is going to simply catch it, and then it's going to trigger an email to the respective either DL or group mailbox or something like that, right? So for now, I'm going to select either slow transport rule, or I would select cert expiry, because I don't have anything out of this or any other mail flows, as I have this test tenant. So there is not much configurations to test out of these, but definitely we can test each of these based on the different needs and requirements. So I'll select slow transport rule, right? And then hit next one. Over here, we would add recipients. So recipients would be those where we wanted to get the email notifications, right? So either we can select group name, probably I think I have something like developer or group. Okay, I think so. It is basically only selecting and allowing us to add the group name, not group name, but the user mailbox, right? And once we add it over here, probably I will just go back and I will go back here or under the teams groups. And from there, I will get one of the distribution lists and see that allows us, because we wanted to get all those notifications to DL, right? Let's say I would type this one. Okay. Okay, let me copy this email address and put it over here. Perfect. So I have added both user account as well as a DL, and we should be good there too, right? And then you can set a daily notification limits, right? So there are notification limits up to 200. From one is the least or minimum, and maximum is 200. And out of this list, but if you set to no limit, that means there is no limit at all. Instead, it is going to send all those notifications wherever and whenever there is such situation, right? So that way it is going to send all those notifications to the delivered or list of DLs or accounts that you have listed over here, and it is going to send all those notifications, right? So I'm going to keep it no limit, and we can go to next one. And on the next page, it is just a review and finish of the policy where we would see the complete settings and configurations. And once we are good, we should be good to click on create button or create this policy. So it will create policy. Oh, there is error. Let's see if it created. Oh, no, it did not create a policy. I think it flow, mail flow. I'll keep it high and then slow transport. Next, I think it did not create. Either it could be because of PL email address, but it did not mention any error. So I'll keep only the DL ID and no limits. Next and create. Let's see if it is because of that or any other error, because it just failed. It did not perfect. So it is created, you can see, and it is successful. So click on done button over here, where we can simply refresh it once, and it should be over here. So there is the policy which is set to high. And once you click on this one, you would see other options where we can simply disable this alert policy as well, and we can delete it if in case we don't need it or we don't want to use it at all, right? So if you wanted to disable, just hit that disable button, and it's going to ask for confirmation. Once you are good, just click on confirm and it should disable it, right? If not, then there is option for us to delete as well, right? So if you delete it, same way it is going to ask for confirmation, and once you confirm, it is going to be deleted, right? The more important part of this alert policy is that, as I showed you, right? And also there is option for us to edit this one, right? So from here you can edit the basic details and not all the details. All details as in triggers and everything, because it does not allow us to change the trigger, right? So it is better to have this capability or anything that needs to be changed in the triggers, right? And while creating this alert policy, we should definitely look into the what are the different triggers and which triggers we wanted to get notified on, as well as triggers are based on the insights of those emails and mail flows and everything together. So whatever is going to happen across the whole tenant, it's going to be considered and calculated and through using the triggers based on the trigger that we have selected in the policy, right? So this way it is going to notify to that respective DL or respective recipients in the list of that notifications, right? So it's obvious that we should definitely select the appropriate triggers while creating the policy, right? And basis on that, it is going to be allowing us to. Now, if in case you wanted to know and understand about all of these triggers, right? So these triggers would definitely be helping on different scenarios. As I said, mail loops, mails are just looping and not being sent out, right? Then slow transport rules. So if in case there's a transport rule that is taking a lot of time to execute, and then either send it or forward the emails or whatever the transport rules that we have created across, and new users forwarding when there is emails which are being forwarded to the new users or any users across the tenant. So this is that one. New domains being forwarded. This is being calculated and considered based on the domain activity. Let's say internal users is sending an email to a brand new domain, which is something which is not communicated and used at all by any of the user across the tenant, right? And that's why it is being considered that way. And there's one more, cert expiry, right? So when there is any certification expiry going to happen, right? So it is going to notify that as well, right? So that way it is going to notify to all those recipients and showcase, let's say, I will give it a name like cert expiry alert, and next, and I'll keep this as is, and then I will add uh, my, my account over here, and then load image, and the next, and let's create this policy, right? So now this policy is going to notify if in case there is any certification or certificate that's going to expire, right? And which is expiring around or has been used for any of the exchange services, basically. This is not going to notify on any other server or whenever or wherever it is being used, right? If we have a hybrid environment, that means we would have so many different certificates being used, right? And it is not going to notify whether that certificate is going to expire or what, but this is majorly on exchange online services, right? So yeah, this way it is going to be helpful, and there would be an activity, and once we know that this particular activity is happening, or this is the issue, because this is not a remediation, but this policy is going to notify us what is going to happen and how you should go ahead and take the actions, right? Actions, something like either renew certificates or work on transport rules to remediate any of those blockage or stops or wherever it is slowing it down, right? And that way it is going to help us to identify those issues and remediate those in proactive manner, right? So yeah, that is all I wanted to talk and show you in this video. Hope you like it. Hope you learned something new. And let me know if you have any questions, any doubts, anything that you wanted to learn and know about this one, as well as any other topics across Microsoft 365 Azure, right? And yeah, I will be happy to answer any questions and collaborate on anything that you wanted to. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, people around you, so that they can also learn. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well, so that you would get to see every new video whenever it is uploaded and available. So yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.